have only two seasons, rainy or dry.
Exactly. That's what we have here, for sure. Rainy season or dry season. Um, and yeah, but welcome to class again. And Kyle, welcome. How's it going?
I'm fine, thanks. Are you hearing me?
Excuse me?
Are you hearing me?
I can't hear you. We would say, do you hear me? Do you hear me?
Do you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, or can.
Uh,
Can you hear me? Okay.
okay, I have a
Kyle,
long time that I don't practice English.
that's okay. Where are you from?
I'm from Brazil.
From Brazil. Perfect.
Yes.
And what do you like to do for fun? What do you do in your free time, Kyle?
I like to play guitar,
Okay.
going out with friends, with my girlfriend. I don't know, going out to watch films, to the cinema.
Okay. Films, cinema.
That's it.
Nice. All good things. Well, welcome to class.
Thank you.
Also, Mark, welcome to class. Mark, how's it going?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. And
Okay.
so, Mark, where are you from?
I'm from Brazil.
Okay. A couple Brazilians. And what do you do for fun? What do you like to do in your free time?
You know, I like playing games. I like watching soccer
Hmm.
and playing the guitar as Kyle.
Nice.
This kind of thing.
Perfect. And Skyo? How do you pronounce your name, Kyle?
Caio.
Kyle.
Yes, that's it.
Kyle. Okay, perfect. Sorry at first. Um, perfect. And Saud, welcome to class. Saud, how's it going?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Nice. Good to hear. And what'd you do today, Saud?
I just woke up.
Okay. And what are you gonna do for the rest of the day?
Actually, after um, 2 hours from now, I will go to my work.
Okay. Okay.
It is early morning here in Saudi
Hmm.
Arabia.
Yeah. No, for sure. And yeah, so have you had breakfast yet? Or do you still...
Yes, yes. I just finished my breakfast.
Okay. What'd you have for breakfast?
uh, Eggs omelette.
What did you have for breakfast? What did you have for breakfast?
Eggs. I like eggs.
Ah, eggs. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. And So, welcome to class. So, how are you?
Hi, thank you so much. I'm good, thanks for asking.
Nice. Okay. And um, are you just waking up as well?
No,
Sorry, where are you? Where are you now? So, I forget.
right now I'm in UK.
Okay. All right. What time is it there?
It's 1 a.m.
1 a.m.
Yes.
Okay. And so, what did you do yesterday?
I've been doing some reading and writing, so
Okay. Nice. What are you reading and writing?
it's for my thesis. I'm studying social linguistics, language
Social
attitude.
linguistics.
Yeah.
Super interesting. Okay. What's your thesis?
It's about language attitudes.
It's about one
Language
more time.
attitudes.
Language editors. Okay.
No, it's language attitudes.
Aptitudes?
It's, oops, I think I misspelled it.
Attitudes.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. Really cool. If you're interested, Radio Lab. There's uh my words are leaving. It's a podcast called Radio Lab, and they have an interesting one about translation. If you're into listening to it, so it's an hour-long
Nice.
episode about translation and different types of translation. It's really cool. I like the episode, and I feel if you're studying that, you would probably enjoy it as well. And it's for free,
Okay.
so you can download it
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Kako, welcome to class. Kako, how's it going? Kako, can you hear me?
Hey teacher, I'm very well, thank you. And you?
I'm doing really well. Thank you for asking. And Kako, what have you been up today?
Can you repeat, teacher, please?
Yeah. What have you been up to today? What have you done today?
Today I rested all day long because I catch cold.
I caught a cold.
I caught a cold.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that you had the day to rest. It's the worst when you catch a cold and you have to go into work or something.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, hopefully you feel better.
thank
Anna,
you.
yeah. Anna Carolina, welcome to class. Anna, how's it going?
Thank you, Joshua. I'm doing well, thank you. And you?
Nice. Doing really well. Thank you for asking. It's good to see you again. Um,
Likewise.
Thanks. What'd you do today?
I went for a ride in my boat and
Okay.
I rested and I took a class with Nate.
Nice. How did the class go?
Fun as usual.
Cool. Okay. And I think that's everybody. Let's get started. Gonna do a little bit of reading about an indestructible hairdryer. And so let's start with Caillou. Can you read the question here?
Okay, teacher. Hair dryer. What would happen if a hair dryer with continuous power was turned on and put in an airtight 1x1x1 meter box?
Good. So let's look at turned. Turned on.
Turn on.
Yeah, turned. Turned.
Turned.
Turned.
Turned.
Good.
Okay.
Perfect. And then put in an airtight. Put in an airtight.
Oh, can you repeat, please?
Yeah. So it looks like I'm trying to give you the. Can you see the chat box too? The words are typed in the chat box. Can you see that?
Box? Did you say box?
Sorry. The chat box.
Chat box. Okay.
Yeah. So put in an airtight. Put in an airtight.
Put in an air chat. Put in an airtight. Put in an airtight. It's a little difficult.
Yeah. It is a
Put
little
in
bit
an
difficult.
airtight.
Put in an airtight.
Put in an airtight.
And then when we say 1 by 1 by 1.
1 by 1 by 1. Okay.
Yeah. And nice. Let's have Heidi. Can you read this next part?
Okay. A typical hair dryer tools, 1875 watts of power. All 1875 watts have to go somewhere, no matter what happens inside the box. If there's 1875 watts of power being used, eventually there will be 1875 watts of heat flowing out.
Good. Yeah, you got it. So the only trouble with this, that 1875 would be a date. So if we're talking about a date, it's 1875. If we're talking about watts of power, it's 1,875.
Oh, 1,875 is better?
Yeah, for this, because we're talking about power and not a date. So whenever you're talking about a date, of time, 1875 is perfect. But if you're talking about a number, you could say like 1800 watts of power, but that's not necessarily accurate. We'd say 1875 because it's a,
1,875 watts.
yeah. And good. So pretty much he's just talking about thermodynamics. Whatever heat goes in, whatever power goes in has to come out. And Mark, can you read this next paragraph?
Yeah. Okay. This is true of any device that uses power, which is a handy thing to know. For example, people worry about leaving disconnected chargers plugged into the wall for fear that they are draining power. Are they right? You can use heat flow to come up with simple rule of thumb. If an unused charger isn't warm to be touched, it's using less than a penny of electricity a day. For a small smartphone charger, if it is not warm to be touched, it's using less than a penny a year.
Good. Can you repeat electricity?
Electricity.
Good. Nice. You did a good job, though. Maybe disconnected? Disconnected?
Disconnected.
Perfect. Really nicely done. Good reading, Mark.
Okay, thank you.
Does anybody have any questions so far? Okay. Saud, can you read this next part?
From This Is True.
Mm-hmm.
This is true for any device that uses power, which is a handy thing to know. For example, people worry about leaving.
Sorry. Saud, this is true of almost any power device. So the next paragraph.
Okay, sorry. I confused. This is true for almost any power device, though not necessarily those plugged into a second device. If a charger is connected to something like a smartphone or laptop, power can you roll up, please?
Scroll up like that?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Can you see it?
No, nothing changed.
Okay, it might be...
Yeah. Now it's okay. Power can be flowing from the wall through the charger into the device. But back to the box. Heat
Good.
will... Okay.
Okay, yeah, let's pause there. Okay, so let's look at though. Though. Good. Though necessarily.
Though necessarily.
Good. Necessarily. And then plugged into.
Plugged into.
Good. Plugged into.
Plugged into.
Yeah, so plugged into a second device. Good. Juan Pablo, welcome to class. Juan Pablo, how's it going?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Nice. Juan Pablo, where are you from?
I'm from Chile.
Chile. Okay.
Yeah, but now I am studying in London.
Nice. Okay. Cool. Good to meet you, Juan Pablo.
Okay, thank you.
And let's try this next part. So, can you read this next part?
Okay. Heat will flow from the hair dryer out into the box. If we assume the dryer is indestructible, the interior of the box will keep getting hotter until the outer surface reaches about 60 Celsius, I'm not sure, 140 Fahrenheit. At that temperature, the box will be losing heat to the outside as fast as the hair dryer is adding it inside, and the system will be in equilibrium. Not sure.
Good. Equilibrium.
Equilibrium. Okay.
Nice. And then Fahrenheit.
Fahrenheit.
Yeah, Fahrenheit. Other than that, you did a good job. Yeah. So nicely done. Does anybody have any questions here? Okay. And so can you also read the comic?
This loud box is warm. We're friends now.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous, but good.
In our
Anna?
case, it will be this loud box is very cold.
Yeah, 140 degrees is very hot. But good. And let's have Ana Carolina. Can you read these next two paragraphs?
Yes, the equilibrium temperature will be a bit cooler if there's a breeze or if the box is sitting on a wet or metallic surface
Nice.
that conducts away heat quickly. If the box is made of metal, 60 degrees Celsius is hot enough to burn your hand if you touch it for more than 5 seconds. If it is wood, you can probably touch it for a while, but there's a danger that parts of the box in contact with the mouth of the dryer will catch fire.
Yeah.
Fire.
The mouth of the hairdryer. Can you repeat the mouth of the hairdryer?
The mouth of the hair dryer.
Yeah.
The mouth of the hair dryer.
Good. There you go. The mouth of the hairdryer. So just the intonation of those specific words. You did a really good job. Good correction with surface. Maybe conducts. Conducts.
Conduct.
Good.
Thank you.
Yeah, really nicely done though. Does anybody have any questions so far? Any questions about what we've read? Okay. And let's have Kako. Can you read the next two paragraphs?
But let's assume an indestructible hairdryer.
Not quite.
Not? The previous?
Yep, so the inside.
The inside of a box?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The inside of a box will be like an oven. The temperature it reads will depend on the thickness of the box wall. The thicker and more insulating the wall, the higher the temperature. It wouldn't take a very thick box to create temperatures high enough to burn out the hair dryer. But let's assume an indestructible hair dryer. And if we have something as cool as an indestructible hair dryer, it seems like a shame to limit it. Indestructible.
Perfect. There you go. That was really nicely done. We'd say maybe temperature.
Temperature.
Yeah, temperature.
Temperature.
And then reaches.
Reaches.
And insulating.
Insulating.
And indestructible, which you did a good job, but indestructible.
Indestructible.
Nice. And does anybody have any questions here? Okay. And Heidi, where do you think he's going to go with this? You've had a couple of these classes. What do you think is going to happen, Heidi?
My idea, if the person doesn't stop the hair dryer, and even the box is made of wood, it burn down finally.
Okay. Yeah, so basically that's what we've gotten so far. Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is our indestructible hairdryer. Let's have Caillou, can you read this next paragraph?
Okay, teacher. With 18,050 watts flowing out of the hairdryer, the surface of the box reaches over 200 Celsius degrees or 475 Fahrenheit, as hot as skillet, I don't know, on low, medium.
Good. Okay. With 18,750 watts.
18,750 watts.
18,750 watts.
Okay. 750 watts.
Flowing out of the hairdryer, the surface of the box. 200 degrees Celsius. 200 degrees Celsius.
200 degrees Celsius.
Or 475 degrees Fahrenheit.
475 Fahrenheit.
475 degrees.
475 degrees.
75 degrees Fahrenheit.
75 degrees Fahrenheit.
And then as hot as a skillet. As hot as a skillet.
As hot as skillet. As hot as skillet.
As hot as a. As hot as a skillet.
As hot as skillet.
Close. You're missing the As hot as a.
Okay. As hot as skillet. As hot as a skillet.
There. As hot as a skillet. One more time.
Okay. As hot as a skillet.
Perfect. There you go. Nicely done. And can you also read this comic, Caillou?
Load box is making breakfast.
Yeah, it's where. And this next sentence?
I wonder how high this dial goes.
Good. So we've got another bit. And Heidi, can you read this paragraph or this sentence?
The surface of the box is now 600 degrees Celsius, hot enough to glow a dim red.
Yeah, and so we've kind of just, it's 187 kilowatts now. And Heidi, can you read this next part too?
If it's made of aluminum, the inside, okay, please remove the blue color.
Sorry.
If it's made of aluminum, the inside is starting to melt. If it's made of lead, the outside is starting to melt. If it's on a wood floor, the house is on fire. But it doesn't matter what's happening around it. The hair dryer is indestructible.
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 Good. Any questions here? Yeah, you did a really good job. Nice correction of lead. Nice work with aluminum. Yeah, nicely done. Let's go on. So we've got 1.87 megawatts. And then let's have Mark. Can you read this next paragraph?
Yeah. 2 megawatts pumped into a laser is enough to destroy missiles. Is that right? I'm not sure about that word.
Missiles.
Missiles. Mm-hmm. Missiles.
Hmm?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At 1,100 degree Celsius degree, the box is now about the temperature of lava. I'm not sure.
Lava. Yeah, lava.
Okay.
Okay, degrees Celsius, remember. So it's always
Degree.
degree Celsius.
Yeah. Degrees Celsius.
And 1,300. 1,300.
1,300.
Or you could say 1,300.
I'm sorry?
Or you could say 1,300.
Oh, yeah, 1,300.
Yeah, so 1,300, 1,300. Good. And so does anybody want 2 megawatts pumped into a laser? It's actually just a reference to that. So we could go into that next one. So yeah, it's just a lot of energy, basically. Any questions so far? All right. Mark, can you read that as well?
One more notch.
Good. And this one?
18 megawatts have flown into the box.
Good. Okay. And Saud, can you read this next paragraph?
Sure, sir. The surface of the box reaches 20,400 Celsius degrees.
How do you say that?
Celsius degrees.
Mark, how do you say that? Mark, are you there?
Degrees Celsius.
Yeah. So, one more time?
Degrees Celsius.
Yeah. Good. So can you start one more time, Saud?
The surface of the box reaches 2,400 degrees Celsius. If it were steel, it would have melted by now. If it is made of something like tungsten, it might conceivably last a little longer. Just one more, then we'll stop.
Nice. Conceivably.
Conceivably.
And tungsten.
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 Good. And let's have So, can you read the next part?
Okay. 187 megawatts is enough to make the box glow white. Not a lot of box materials can survive these conditions, so we'll have to assume the box is indestructible.
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 Mm-hmm. I'll have to assume the box is indestructible. And maybe materials. As well, so can you repeat materials?
Materials?
Good. Okay. And Ana Carolina, can you read this next part?
Yes. Unfortunately, the floor isn't. Before it can burn its way through the floor, someone throws a water balloon under it. The burst of steam launches the box out the front door and onto the sidewalk. Note, if you are ever trapped with me in a burning building and I suggest an idea for how we could escape the situation, it's probably best to ignore me.
Yeah. Good. Unfortunately.
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 Yeah, you did a really good job. Does anybody have any questions so far? Okay. And let's actually go back to Soso. Yours was really short. Soso, can you read this one as well?
Okay. 1.875 gigawatts. I lied about stopping. According to Back to the Future, the hair dryer is now drawing enough power to travel back in time.
Good, according to that. And any questions here?
No.
Okay. And let's have Kako. Can you read the next part?
The box is blindingly bright, and you can't get closer than a few hundred meters due to the intense heat. It sits in the middle of a growing pool of lava. Anything within 50 to 100 meters bursts into flame. A column of heat and smoke rise high into the air. Periodic explosions of gas beneath the box launch into the air, and it starts fires and forms a new lava pool where it lands.
Good. Meters.
Meters.
Yeah, meters. 50 to 100.
50 to 100.
Close. 50 to 100.
50 to 100.
Bursts.
Bursts.
Okay. Yeah, you did a really nice job. Focus on emphasizing the key words in a sentence. So in this sentence, we would emphasize sits, middle, growing in lava. So it sits in the middle of a growing pool of lava. Can you read that one more time, Kako?
The text, teacher.
Yeah, just this sentence. It sits in the middle of a growing pool of lava.
A growing pool of lava.
Good. Yeah. And like I said, try to emphasize those main words, but really nicely done. And let's have Caillou. Can you read this next paragraph?
Okay. 18.7 gigawatts. The conditions around the box are similar to those on the pad during a Space Shuttle launch. The box begins to be tossed around by the powerful updrafts it's creating.
Tossed.
Tossed.
And shuttle.
Shuttle. Tossed and shuttle.
Yeah, shuttle's a tough one because it's a mix between a T and a D sound, shuttle. But good.
Shuttle. Okay.
And let's have Heidi. Can you read the next part?
Next, okay. In 1914, H.G. Wells imagined devices like this in his book, the world set free. He wrote of the type of bomb that, instead of exploding once, exploded continuously, a slow burn inferno that started inextinguishable fires in the heart of cities. The story difficult story early Forrest Hadwood, I'm not sure, the development 30 years later of nuclear weapons.
Good. Nice.
Foreshadowed. Okay, foreshadowed.
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 Yeah, foreshadowed eerily.
Eerily.
Yeah, eerily foreshadowed.
Eerily foreshadowed.
Good. Inextinguishable.
Inextinguishable.
Nice. Inextinguishable. And then, was there anything else? Inferno?
Hmm?
Inferno?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, can you repeat Inferno as well?
I can't find. Oh,
Inferno.
Inferno. Inferno. It's Italian.
Yeah. Yeah,
So Inferno.
definitely a Latin-based word.
So in English, how can I pronounce Inferno?
Inferno.
Inferno. Inferno.
Mm-hmm. Inferno. Good. And does anybody have any questions here? Okay. And so he keeps going. And let's have Mark. Can you read this next part?
Okay. The box is now soaring through the air. Each time it nears the ground, it superhits the surface, and the plum of expanding air hurls it back into the sky.
Which is so ridiculous. The plume.
The plume. Okay.
Box is now soaring through the air. Superheats. Maybe just the intonation of superheats. It superheats the surface.
Superheats the surface.
Mm-hmm. Good. Other than that, you did a good job. What does hurl mean? Does anybody know what hurl means?
I'm looking over at the dictionary right now. To throw something with a lot of force, usually in an angry or violent way.
Yeah, it's like to throw something with a lot of force. Good. And let's go here. Let's have Saud. Can you read this one?
The box is now soaring through the air. Each time it nears the ground, it superheats the surface and the plume. What happened?
Sorry. And so can you read this one here?
Okay. 1.875 terawatts is like a house-sized stack of TNT going off every second.
Yeah. Terawatts.
Terawatts.
Yeah. And also, Saud, can you read this next part?
Nothing, Chin.
Here?
Where?
Alright. Well, it might be just because you're waiting. Let's have Soso. Can you read this next one?
Okay. A trail of firestorms, massive conflagrations which sustain themselves by creating their own wind systems, winds its way across the landscape.
Ooh, this is a tricky one. Does anybody think they could say this part? Or maybe so. Can you try to say that part one more time?
Yeah. Wind system winds its way across the landscape.
Not quite. Wind system. Their own wind systems.
But the other one is as a verb, right? Winds its way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, wind systems winds its way.
So wind system,
Nope, wind. Wind systems.
Winds. Wind system. Oh, the D is silent, right?
Wind systems winds its way.
Wind systems winds its way.
Good. Yeah, that's tricky. So wind is in the movement of air, and wind is the movement. Really nicely done. That was a tricky one. Let's look at conflagrations. Conflagrations.
Conflagrations.
And then sustain.
Sustain.
Perfect. Okay. And one more time, can you read that whole sentence?
A trail of firestorms, massive conflagrations which sustain themselves by creating their own wind systems, winds its way across the landscape.
You switch these around.
Yeah.
So creating their own what systems?
Wind system?
Wind
system winds its way.
Good. Yeah, it's tricky. It's really hard, but nicely done. And we lost Saud. Ana Carolina, can you read the next part?
Okay. A new milestone. The hairdryer is now impossibly consuming more power than every other electrical device on the planet combined.
Good. Maybe just with this sentence, the hairdryer is now impossibly consuming more.
Okay. The hairdryer is now impossibly consuming more.
Yeah, nicely done. There you go. And Taco, can you read the next part?
The box, soaring high above the surface, is putting out energy equivalent to 3 Trinity tests every second.
Every second?
Every second.
Good. Does anybody know what the Trinity test is?
I suppose some kind of a nuclear energy test.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I believe it was the first test of a nuclear bomb. Yeah. So back in 1945. Okay. And Caillou, can you read the next part?
Okay, teacher. At this point, the pattern is obvious. It thinks it's going to escape around the atmosphere until it destroys the planet. Let's try something different.
Yeah. Atmosphere.
Atmosphere.
Good. This
Atmosphere.
thing is going to skip around the atmosphere until it destroys the planet.
This thing is going to skip around the atmosphere until it destroys the planet.
Nice. So with that, you've got the emphasized words, this thing, skip around the atmosphere until it destroys the planet. So again, just making sure those words are emphasized, it'll give your speech a little bit more flow, and people will understand you better, because people often kind of ignore monotonous speakers. So if you try to pronounce every word well, you'll still pronounce the words well, but you'll still have trouble with people understanding you. So yeah, try to give your voice a little bit more ups and downs, but you did a really good job with the pronunciation.
Joshua,
Yes.
you know, Kyle and Anna and I, we are Brazilians, so Portuguese language is, you know, it's an even language. I mean, it's so different than English. We have ups and downs all the time.
Yeah.
And I have a hard time trying to say these, for example. Hold on. I'm writing down this thing. And I put in phonetics because, you know, I'm addicted to phonetics. And how to do these two sounds, you know, I have a hard time trying to say these two words because these sounds are really confusing for us. Would you try help me out with those?
So the design?
No, I wrote down in the chat box.
The phonetics.
This thing, you know, how to link these two sounds, these two words, I mean.
Yeah. Hold on. It's been a while since I've studied the phonetics.
Yeah, I've been studying phonetics for 16 years so far, and so I'm very used to those symbols. But sometimes I have problem in trying to link it. And I think these two words, when they come together, I have a hard time with them.
Okay, and
yeah.
Can you say the words? Because I'm a little bit lost as far as the phonetics there.
Okay, this, you know, I'll try
this
separate first.
This thing.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So, this thing. It's tough. I mean, the ST. I'm not sure. I don't know if I could give you any specific pointers. Can you?
No. I just want you to repeat so that I can try to copy.
Yeah. This thing.
This thing.
Yeah. This thing. Sounds good.
This thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This thing. Okay. And does anybody have any other questions? Okay, good. Let's go on. And I think we're back with Heidi. Can you read this next paragraph?
Yeah. We turn the dial to zero, and the box is passing over northern Canada. Rapidly cooling, it plummets to Earth, landing on the Great Bear Lake with a plume of steam, and then
plume. Yeah, a plume of steam. Rapidly cooling, it plummets to the Earth.
Plummet. What? The second line. It plumed. And what?
Plummets.
Plummet. Okay.
So it plummets to Earth.
Plummet.
Does anybody have any questions? Okay. And has anybody ever watched Spinal Tap? Okay. So this is a joke about Spinal Tap. So let's have Mark. Let's go to the next one.
Me?
Yeah. Can you read this next part?
Yeah, I'm sure. The official record for fast. Okay, this one goes to 11 petawatts. In this case, a brief story. The official record for fastest man-made object is the, how do I say that word? Helios 2 probe, which reaches about 70 kilometers per second in a closed swing around the sun. But it's possible the actual holder of that title is a 2-ton metal manhole cover.
Nice. Who's on middle manhole cover? Nice job with the last sentence. The first part, petawatts in this case.
Petawatts.
Petawatts in this case.
Petawatts in this case.
Good. So because they're two sentences, this one goes to 11 petawatts in this case. Yeah, just a little bit different with the pauses. Nice pronunciation. Fastest.
Fastest.
And there's two reached.
Reached.
Kilometers per second.
Say that again, please.
Kilometers per second.
Kilometers per second.
Good. Really nicely done. And let's have Saud. Can you read the next paragraph?
Okay. The cover sat atop a shaft at underground nuclear test site operated by Los Alamos as part of Operation Plum Bob when the 1 kiloton nuke went off blow. Facility effectively because a nuclear potato cannon given the cap a gigantic kick, a high-speed camera trained on the lid caught only one frame of it moving upward before it finished, which means it was moving at a minimum of 66 kilometers per second. The cap was never found.
Which is awesome. Gigantic.
Gigantic.
Gigantic potato.
Potato.
Yeah, potato cannon.
Potato cannon.
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 Yeah, a potato cannon.
A potato cannon.
Effectively.
Effectively.
Below.
Shallow.
Below. Below.
Below. Below.
Operated.
Operated.
Good. Operated. Oh, I don't know why I said operated. Operation. Operation Plum Bob.
Operation Plum Bob.
Oh, operated. That was good. I'm not going crazy. Okay. Nicely done. And let's have Soso. Can you read the next paragraph?
From 66?
Yes.
Okay. 66 kilometers is about 6 times escape velocity, but contrary to the linked plugs speculation, it is unlikely to cap ever reach space. Newton's impact depth approximation suggests that it was either destroyed completely by impact with the air or slowed and fell back to Earth.
Good. Approximation.
Approximation.
Linked.
Linked.
Linked blog speculation. And contrary.
Contrary.
Perfect. Nicely done. Ana Carolina, can you read the next part?
From where?
Or suddenly.
Our suddenly sorry.
You okay? Are you?
Yes. Yes. Sorry. Our suddenly activated hairdryer box, popping in lake water undergoes a similar process. The heat is seen below, it expands outward, and as the box rises into the air, the entire surface of the lake turns to steam. The steam, heated to a plasma by the flood of radiation, accelerates the box faster and faster. Faster, no, sorry, faster and fast, fast,
Yeah.
faster and faster.
Accelerates the box faster and faster. Good. Radiation.
Radiation,
Good. Really good reading.
faster and faster. I don't know why I.
No worries, you did a good job. Yeah, you're doing fine. I wouldn't worry about that at all. Kako, can you read the next part?
Rather than slam into the atmosphere like the manhole cover, the flood. Oh, sorry. Sorry, teacher.
It's okay.
Rather than slam into the atmosphere like the manhole cover, the flood of radiation hits the air around it, creating a bubble of expanding plasma which offers little resistance. The box exists the atmosphere and continues away, slowly fading from second sun to dim star. Much of the Northwest Territories is burning, but the Earth has survived it.
Yeah. And Mark, can you read the end? Mark, can you read the last part?
Yeah. Which part, please?
Just the last sentence here.
The last sentence. Although we may wish we had it.
And the comic?
Comic. Oh my God. Power Bill.
Yeah. Kako, can you repeat survived?
Survive. Survive.
Yeah. And Kako also exits.
Can you repeat, teacher, please? I
Exits.
was exits. Exits.
Mm-hmm.
Exits.
Exits. The box exits. Good. And does anybody have any questions here? All right. Well, thank you guys for coming in. Hopefully you enjoyed it. It looks like it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you, Josh.
And have a really good night or day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank